welcome back to the XsivGaming channel and Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. This is our Let's Play series and today we are up to episode number 16 I believe. So if you could quickly drop us a like, it would be much appreciated, and of course if you are new to the channel don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. So since the last episode nothing has really changed. Don't think we've done anything particularly major. We've still got the Lincoln stock i6 1929 version. That's still being restored, which we are working on of course, but today, like I say, it's part of the Let's Play series. This is where we are doing all the story orders. So what we're going to do is right click onto orders. We've got the Mayen M3 4x4 i4 DOHC engine. Hello, it's me again. My last purchase was not as great as I've hoped for, but this time I found a true gem for my wife. Those internet auctions are a treasure trove of great used cars, plus I did everything couch potato style from my couch. I haven't seen the car yet, but judging from the pictures I don't believe it needs a lot of work. The car is coming straight to your garage. Please check the oil and make any necessary repairs. Thanks. So this is an interesting one. He's bought the car from an auction, never seen the car, and having it delivered to us to sort out. So we're going to take the order, have a little look at this and see what we've got. It's pink. That's a dear oh dear. Yeah, oh, it don't look too bad in terms of condition. Looks like the wheels may be needing some attention, but yeah, all in all that does not look too bad. I've seen worse. It's, oh blimey, I shouldn't have opened that. That's yeah, close that down a bit quick. Let's see if we can move the car to the test path. We can't start the engine, so that's worrying. Let's move the car to lift A, see what we can do with it of course. So yeah, get it up a little bit. Can't start the engine, so it's going to need work on the lift for definite. We'll have a little look in the engine bay. Go to examine tools. We'll start with, let's try the fuel pressure test first. This will tell us whether the fuel tank, fuel pump, fuel filters, the fuel rails need looking at. Interesting. So that's one test. Let's put it on the OBD scanner. Have a read of any fault codes. Tell us a bit of detail, etc. So we've got ignition coils, spark plugs need looking at. So again, interesting. Let's examine tools once again. The compression test. This will tell us any cracks in the engine block. And yeah, we've got the piston with conrod. The engine block itself is knackered. The crankshaft, piston rings. So yeah, we've got quite a bit of work to do on this one. And finally, let's put it on the electrometer. This of course will tell us about the alternator, the battery, which, looking at the pattern of the numbers, it seems to be about the standard for the car. So we can go into examine mode. We can now see the red bits that we know is definitely wrong with the car. So all of those tests that we've just done are pretty much completed by the test that we've just done. Obviously the cross member at the front there, the exhaust, and what looks like a wheel bearing of sorts in there would have been tested for us looking at the car, as what level we are, etc. So Let's get the car up. We're going to be taking the engine right out today. It's going to need, of course, the oil draining. Move equipment to lifter A. We can, of course, use the equipment. It's good colour oil, and that's a good sign. We can move the equipment, place it back. We, of course, want the engine lifter, or the crane, whatever you'd like to call it. I know that there's various different names for these things, depending where you are from, of course. So we'll take off the exhaust section. That will allow us a bit of room. We need to take this drive shaft off, because we're going to need the gearbox, etc. off as well. That's that piece off. We can then, yeah, see, to get the gearbox off you need the drive shaft off. To do the drive shaft you need the wheels off. Let's get those off. They're not too good anyway. So let's leave that side off. We can take that drive shaft out now. That's that one done. And to the opposite side, take the wheel off once again. And then, of course, as we said before, take the front axle out, drive axle. Take out the front drive shaft. And then we can, of course, get back underneath the car for the gearbox, which you can't do without the start motor being off. So, yep, that's got to come back down. What do we say? The starter motor. I'll bolt that. I've got various bits and pieces wrong with the car. Get that back up, then the gearbox can come out. Can't really see where we're looking here. There we go. See if we can get better camera angles. So that's that off. We want all the clutch needs coming out, as we struggle with that later on the engine stand. Take off the clutch, take off the flywheel, and that is that. We've of course got the crankshaft was a problem as well, if I recall. But I believe that is it at the moment. So what we're going to do is just lower the car back down, get our engine crane in there. We want to let's do it. Okay, pull out the engine. So it's pulled the entire engine out, and then of course we can put that engine onto the stand from the crane there, and then of course we can start working on it. So let's start at the front here. We want to take off the idler rollers, take off that belt. That means the crankshaft pulley can come out. You might as well completely gut the entire engine, as it gets us experience anyway. Timing cover. Of course, that means belt tensioner off. The belt itself can then come off. The idler rollers can come off. Various ones of those. there. And we can start taking off the cam gear there. To get that throttle body off. And the intake manifold. Like I say, it's best just to completely gut the entire engine. Just work through the bits, bit by bit of course. Take off the fuel rails. Like so. Take off that exhaust manifold. Off the turbo. Then we are ready to take out the ignition coils. 4 of those. Take out the 4 plugs. We can once again get the right camera angle and see what we're actually doing. Then that head cover can come off. Lots and lots of work to do with this one. So we want to take out the camshaft, but to do that the camshaft caps need coming off. There's 4 caps on each camshaft. Should be able to take that one out now. No, where am I missing? I'm missing something on that. Oh, I've just seen what it is. It's the timing cover at this end. Completely forgot the i4 engine has 2 timing chains. Timing covers. It's very easy to miss those kind of bits. So let's get this timing cover off. Whilst we're here, we might as well get that fuel filter off as well. The cam gear, timing chain, another cam gear, and then the camshafts can come out. Engine head can come off, and then I think that is it for the main sort of stuff off the engine. Let's rotate the engine. Turn it upside down now. What we're going to do is take off the oil pan. And there we go, there's the all the pistons and the rod caps. They all need coming out. Excuse me, the piston with con rod, the crankshaft bearings also need to come out. The crankshaft itself needs coming out, I believe. We're going to undo all those as we move along. piston with conrod, and finally the crankshaft itself. The engine block, and there we go. That's the entire engine took apart, piece by piece. You've got the silhouette of the engine still there, but that's because effectively that's still on there. So we'll go to the repair bench. What we are going to do is of course to spam the repair button, see what we can fix, and then of course we can replace anything else. So, don't want to do those ones. Let's head on back. Let's click the engine. We want to part mount engine block. Yeah, the engine block is knackered completely. We can't even repair it, so we need a new engine block, which is not a good start. That is a huge cost. So type in engine block. No, it was an i4. I think it was the i4B. Let's yeah, it was indeed i4B. Yeah, look at that. £1,665 or dollars for a replacement of those. So we're going to put that on. There we go. Power steering pump is knackered. So let's power steering pump. I think it's the one of these. Which one are we? Power steering pump i4B. There we go. Of course, can go back on. That's that done. The alternator is also knackered. I think we might have accidentally broke that. Always the way. Okay, so replace a nice new one of those. Water pump has been repaired, so that can go on. Idler roller A. Going to need a few of those, I believe. Let's pick up 3 whilst we're here. Okay, so the crankshaft, we're going to need a new one of those. Crankshaft, is it the i4 one? It should be. No, it's an i4B. That's what we're after, there we go. Put the crankshaft back in. Now, of course, going to need the bearings. They look like they've been repaired. Seems to have repaired the cheaper of the parts. And the expensive part seems to have been broken, which is typical. So we now want the piston with conrods in there. Looks like we're going to need 4 of those. Yeah. So piston with conrod, we're going to need 4 of those. We're going to need 4 rings. And the rod cap, we best get 4 of those whilst we're here as well. So, let's see if we can get this in place. Piston with conrod. Let's piston rings in. Rod cap. I just need one of those in. At least that way it saves worrying if we've missed which piston it was that needed replacing. It's just better just to replace all four. If you think about the work that it takes to get to these kind of parts, the various tools etc. you need, it's easier just to replace them all straight away. If you're replacing one, you might as well replace them all. I know a few of them, a couple of them were knackered anyway. Let's put the oil pan on, that's knackered. Oil pan I4B. Oil pan I4B. Put that on. Nice new one of those. And an oil filter for the I4. Again, same thing applies if you are changing the oil like this. It's better to replace these kind of parts straight away. So let's rotate that engine back round, see where we are at. Click on that, we're going to go back to part mount. Put the engine head on, that is all fixed, which is good. We can put in spark plugs, we need 4 of those. Yeah, see, 2 of them are only at 88%, so I know those ignition coils needed replacing whilst we sit there looking at those. And then we want spark plug as well. 4 of those in. So there's one of those. Oh, go on, get in there. There we go. So put those 4 plugs on. Like so. We're then going to put on camshaft I4B. We need 2 of those now. Worked out awfully expensive, this job is. It would have been cheaper to buy a different car. So, the camshaft caps. Now they seem to be set 52%, which makes me think to just put those on. I think we will just put those on if of course it needs changing. Then we know what the problem is. That's the 4th one. That's 6 done. 7 and 8. We put that engine head cover on, that's all good condition. Again, you would do that in a particular pattern, but for the purposes of today's video we are just doing them up. I'm going to put in those ignition coils. Got 4 nice new ones of those. So job done. Put that intake manifold on. And then of course the throttle body. That's that bit done. Put the fuel rails in here I didn't put in. 1, 2, 3. We need a 4th fuel rail I4B. Just thinking, should we get the fuel filter whilst we're here, but I'll leave that. I think that was fine. Okay, so start this end. We've got the cam gear A that needs doing. Cam gear A. Is it just A, or must be that one? That's the B, so might as well get that as well. Could guarantee that will need changing. Timing chain I4B. That bit. Gear B, yeah, that definitely needed changing. Timing cover. Oh, blimey, that needs changing as well. So it's the timing cover B I4B. Where are we? Timing cover. That one there. That put on. Okay, the turbo can go back on. No, we can't because we need a new one of those. I assume it's the turbo I4B. There we go. And we put that exhaust manifold on I4B. Blimey, the parts that are wrong with this car. Exhaust manifold I4B. There we go, so that's that job done. Yeah, we're getting there with it. Select the part mount. So we want the cam gear. Got a feeling that's going to need changing. Idler roller A, I know we have bought a few of those. So it's a cam gear I4. Cam gear I4, there we go. Serpentine belt A. Plenty of parts to get done. Belt tensioner, I think that's okay to go on. Timing cover, go straight on. Crankshaft pulley. 52 seems to be that magic number with this one. So I believe that is it at the moment. So what we're going to do is take off the engine from the stand, that's back on the crane, and then we're going to tell that to install, then we can move that equipment, place it back out of the way. So let's have a look at the car. Car status. Got some tyres there that need doing. I've got a gearbox that needs changing. The clutch needs doing. The flywheel. Drive shaft needs doing. A couple of other parts that are still not discovered, which is always interesting in these cars. Go back to part mount. We've got all the bits in there. That's all accessible underneath. So yeah, let's get it back up. Let's see where we go. So the flywheel we said wanted changing. The gearbox we want one of those. We want one of those. One of those. And one of those. That's the 4 pieces of the clutch system, the flywheel, clutch pressure plate, which we seem to have got a few of sitting around. Wonder why. Never mind. So the gearbox needs looking at. It's the i4 4x4. That one there. Okay. Can we put in as well? Got that front drive shaft. Got either repaired or replaced. We don't want to put that on just yet, we want to inside put that. So it's a front drive axle H. So drive axle, front drive axle H. Need one of those in there. So before we carry on, we're going to have a little look. We've still got some bits missing. Drive shaft. Guessing that must be the rear drive shaft then. Oh, the drive shaft. No, sorry, it's the drive that goes front to back is what needs changing. Click gearbox. There's a drive shaft there. And sitting at this angle, I can see that there's a problem with the brakes there as well. The ABS, either pump or module, needs looking at. So what we're going to do is bring that down. So you can see that there, look, it's the ABS pump. See if we can fix it first. If not, we can of course replace. Rip that off. Looks like the servo needed doing as well. Assuming we haven't got any other bits in stock to do that. We've got a brake servo there. So let's see if we can repair. That doesn't need repairing. We'll repair it a little bit anyway, but we want so we want an ABS pump is what we're after. On there, put the new or the repaired module on. that didn't actually need repairing, but yeah, I've freshened it up. So, car status. Still got 2 parts that are undiscovered there. We've got a fuel pump as well that needs changing, which I understand is at the back, next to the, or on the top of the fuel tank. Where are we? There it is. There's the fuel tank. There's the fuel pump. So type in the word fuel, grab a new fuel pump. That of course can go back in straight away. There we go. So go car status. That's all those jobs done down there. So we've got 2 tyres that need changing and 2 other parts that are not discovered. So let's I'll whip these wheels off the back here. We're not sure which wheel it is that needs changing. Let's have a look at them all. Or is it all 4 that need changing? It is indeed 4 new tyres, look. So this should be interesting. Let's quickly do tyre changer, separate parts. And if we go to inventory, we should be able to find out what size they are. Look, there we go. 225/30 R19. We're going to take those parts, separate parts. Classic sports tyre we want, don't we? So let's click in there. We click the home button. Go into the tyre shop. We want sports tyres, which is this one here. We want 4 of them. We want what size do we say? I think it was 19s. We want 255s. And we want 30 if I recall. £2,500 or dollars on tyres. It's quite an expensive job to get done. Parts. So next up is of course to install parts. Got various rims in from when we've done other bits and pieces. It's these rim classics that we want to use. It's brand new tyres going on. Take that, we shall install more parts. Whilst that's doing that one, we can balance the wheels. Install those ones and a brand new tyre. Sometimes it's a shame to put brand new tyres on rims that are a lot older. So that's all the tyre changing done. We are of course now putting on the balancing. You add a little weight onto the wheel to make them balanced when they're running, is what's happening here. It's the last one to do, I believe. Is that done? I believe that's them all done. They can all now go back onto the car, because I believe that is the last job that needs doing. Done, and last but not least, there we go. So we can of course bring that down now. I think we've still got the starter motor to put on, which needs going into the top here. Part mount, which is just there we go. Hiding in there. Oh, we need a new start motor in there. Home, main shop. Oops, starter. Oh, there we go. Came out a bit of a freeze there. So that's the starter motor on. Last but not least, a bit of oil in there. Nice fresh oil going in. That's that bit done. Just double check the dipstick when we find where it is. There we go. Yeah, there it's fine. So close that down. Can of course remove the jack. There we go. So, car status, as far as I can see, everything is done there. And we've also got drain oil undo the new. So what have we got? We've got a fuel pump, ABS pump, brake servo, oil filter, drive shaft, rod caps, piston rings, crankshafts, the oil pan, the fuel rails, the pistons with conrod, spark plugs, engine block, the clutch, the ignition coils, the exhaust manifold, the gearbox, a turbo, timing chains, and of course 4 tyres. Total money spent $11,691, and total payout is £31,205 or dollars. Plenty of money coming in there. So finish the order. Car is incomplete because the front exhaust section is missing. That is just typical. Get it back up. And once again, yes, it's absolute typical that I completely forget one part. So I'm going to put that back on. There we go. So that should now be done. Back down. It'll tell me that something else is missing now, no doubt. Car status, run through again, and finish order. And there we go. Another job done. So anyway, that is episode 16 done today. Hopefully you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, remember to drop us a like. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you are new, of course, don't forget to find us on Facebook. And drop us a like on there as well. But like we say, that is going to be it. Thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you in the next one. Bye for now.